With a taste for victory, the Caps braced themselves in Ottawa, where they stood on ceremony in the capital city of Canada. Penalty trouble became a huge issue, and the Senators jumped out to a giant-sized lead. Then DC hit back in a big way, roaring from 3 goals down to tie, only to see the Sens Army lash out in OT. Today, a major collision in Detroit, where Datsyuk is dangerous. Washington has extra gears ready for the Motor City and plans to stop the Wings cold on Comcast Sportsnet. Daytime in Detroit at Joe Louis Arena. Comcast Sportsnet presents the NHL and Caps hockey. Today the Capitals have a critical matchup in the Motor City, facing the Red Wings, who have their own playoff headaches with which to deal. Hockey fans, definitely with a pep in their step. The Caps go green on this Easter Sunday, while the Wings faithful are always right with red. Well, another day and more playoff scenarios. The Capitals' magic number to clinch with respect to Ottawa is 3. Any combination of points earned by the Caps or lost by the Senators that equals 3 lands Washington a playoff berth. A very pleasant welcome to you. Along with Craig Laughlin, I'm Joe Beninati. The last 4 days for the Washington Capitals have been a whirlwind on the road. But considering the way the Capitals have performed away from DC this year, Caps fans should take comfort.
Capitals have been very consistent in their play, whether it be on home ice or on the road. On the road, you have to play a team game. You've got to be consistent in your systems and in your execution. For the most part, they've done that. They've played a heavy and hard game as a team. They've stuck together. Have they got some big goals? Absolutely. Whether it be regular time or in overtime. And obviously, you need the grade 8 to be part of that offense when you're trying to win away from home. They've had a very good year away from Verizon.
The data would indicate that, Locker. This has been one of Washington's more impressive road calendars.
Joe B, 21-13-6, points in 27 of 40 road games, 48 points, tied for second most in the East. The 5th 20-plus road win season since 95-96. Ovi leads the bunch with 28 goals. Backy and Ovi leading points. Carlson had a great road season at a plus-minus. You know, you look at plus-minus as a barometer when you're playing away from home, more so than maybe on home ice.
Thinking back to a short evening ago in Ottawa, the Washington Capitals needed a big comeback against the Senators, and Marcus Johansson paved the way.
He was all over the place. I really liked his game. I think when he's involved and he's skating, he's a big factor. He had a goal, 3 shots, +2, 19 and a half minutes of work. His 7th time this season over 19 and a half. Hit a post, roofed that one, drew a penalty, and then this one just shows you how explosive he can be when he is wheeling and dealing and moving his feet.
So in several ways, this season has turned out to be the best for Marcus.
Joe beat career high in goals with 19 shots, 134, less passing and more shooting for Mojo, a +6. He's been more physical, 2 points away from a career high in points in his career.
Assistant coach Lane Lambert offered these thoughts on what makes Marcus a valuable contributor.
And Marcus is moving his feet and competing. He's a formidable force out there. I just thought he was moving his feet. I thought he was battling for pucks, and as a result, you know, he had puck possession and puck time, and that's what makes him successful.
Washington continues to receive a boatload of production from its defense corps. Those guys an evening ago were definitely instrumental in grabbing a point in Ottawa.
Yeah, they were throwing around the pill, weren't they? You'll see Carlson and Orpik set up Mojo at the top here for a nice shot as he moves away from the net. They had a goal, 4 assists, 5 points, 11 shots. Nice play by Greeny, sneaking in around the defenders. And you see Backy find him. And then a flip by Carlson. Nice little flip pass. Yeah, that's a helper. Setting up the Caps on this quick break. Wilson taken away, but Brouwer follows up with a good shot.
So, Locker, it's safe to say the Caps blue liners have been among the league's best as a group all year.
And it's been an ongoing story. We've raved about it. 174 points, third most in the NHL. 34 more than they had all of last season. When an E-man gets a point, the Caps have won outright in 40-65. When they get a goal, points in 20-27. Carlson and Greeny have really helped out with their their assists.
This should be a great one today. The stick-handling wizardry of Pavel Datsyuk on full display, as will the shooting exploits of the great Alex Ovechkin, with Braden Holtby set for his star to shine on Comcast Sportsnet. It's the end of the road in the regular season for the Washington Capitals, and it stops at Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. It's the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet. Joe Beninati and Craig Laughlin with you today as Locker sets up the net-minding matchup.
Well, Braden Holtby's going to go for the Caps, and why not? He's the #1 guy. He's going for win number 40, 2.26921. Mrazek gets the call from Mike Babcock. He's looking for his 16th win. He, too, has a nice goals against it, under 2.5.
Washington and Detroit in the Eastern Conference. Braden Holtby set to square off against the Red Wings. He's beaten them 3 of 4 decisions in his career. We're underway. The referees are Brian Pakmara and Wes McCauley. Brian Kovacic and Don Henderson have the lines. Erickson will turn. Red Wings here in the home Reds. Both of these teams busy an evening ago, getting into Detroit in the wee hours of the morning, and right back for a 5 p.m. local start. Alex Ovechkin finds a seam down the flank, offers for Ward a backhander that's kicked out of there by Mrazek. Pavel Datsyuk rolls it on. Scoop back through center by Tatar. It'll dribble towards Holtby. Taken to safety by John Carlson, who has 5 assists in his last 2 outings. Joel Ward will hammer in from center.
A good start for the guys in white here on the road. Very good tempo against the Red Wings. They want to get on them early. They've already bumped into Mrazek. That was Ovechkin and the defenseman. They've got a couple of shots, much better than they had last night.
You saw Barry Trotz's line combinations and defense pairings. We're finishing up Mike Babcock's at the top of the screen. No Eric Fehr today. Day-to-day listed with an upper body injury sustained an evening ago in Ottawa. So the Capitals have Andrei Burakovsky back in their lineup. The youngster has been reassigned from the American Hockey League's Hershey Bears as the Caps are whistled offside here. He's still down with a Motown sound. Here's Craig's Voice on Value, presented by the Morgan Franklin Consulting.
Well, it's all about mental toughness in this hockey game. You know, both teams have that. It's going to be mental rather than physical. Talking to Barry Trotz in the scrum prior to today's game, you know, he mentioned it's a mental side of the game that can lead you to victory. You know, you're tired, you're a little weary, long day of travel and games. You've got to really be prepared mentally from the start of the game if the Caps are going to secure 2 points.
The physical wear and tear as Cleary works down the wing. At this time of the year, these guys are playing 3 games in 4 nights, 4 games in 6 nights, 6 games in 9 nights, on and on and on. Very physically taxing.
And this game, 22 hours after they started last night.
Cleary looking to stuff. The game's first penalty comes here, and it's a high stick at the 151 mark.
Pretty good physical play down low. The Capitals power play will go to work early. This has really been a problem for the Red Wings. They've taken
Detroit number 11, 2 minutes for high sticks.
And they've taken a lot of penalties recently, and it has cost them. And here's Cleary working down low, and he gets his stick up right there. And that sends him to the box. Cleary reinserted into the lineup for today's game against the Caps. The veteran will have a seat, 36-year-old Daniel Cleary, a longtime NHLer and Red Wing.
Alex Ovechkin out there chomping at the bit. He of the 24 power play goals this season. You see the Caps are ranked first. When it comes to the man advantage, the Red Wings are 18th on the PK. John Carlson sets sail for the Caps, feeds it down the flank for Ovechkin, gaining ground. Collared there by Kronwall, Swedish-born blue liner, and he'll drive it all the way down. Washington 0 for 1 last night on the power play. On the send-in for Marcus Johansson, his pass was blocked. Backstrom leads the league in power play assists. Red Wings swarm there, and DeKaiser will roll it back to center ice.
Not much happening so far for the Capitals power play. You know, it's timing is everything in this game. It'd be nice to get some quality chances here early on, or snipe one here against Mrazek and get them on their heels early here in the first.
Backstrom protecting it. He gets doubled again. Kronwall is always around the puck. Carlson offers for Ovechkin. Wrister on the way, and Mrazek's on top of the crease. to take the angle.
And that's their best chance, and you've got it in the hands of the great eight, and why not? Look at them move it side to side, and look at how wide open Alex is. That's a dandy save by Mrazek. I mean, look at how far he's challenging out to Alex Ovechkin. He's square, he's set, he's not moving a lot. Alex to the belly as he tried to squirt that one past their goalie.
Third meeting of the season between these two. Ovechkin does not have a point in either of the first two. As Mike Green settles, scoops it on the outside for Yevgeny Kuznetsov. Washington power play another 40 seconds. Niskanen for Green, who bluffs the slapper. Through the seam, one-time, great save. Mrazek robbed Kuznetsov there.
And that's great flexibility there, going from right to left to snare that slap shot.
Kuznetsov closing. A power play goal in the first meeting between these two teams back in D.C. Rister on the way, another pad stop as Mrazek's fighting it through the screen. Niskanen sets up shot. Kuznetsov plays the two-man game around Drew Miller. Playing with a full face shield for good reason. Deflection, score! Kuznetsov gets Washington on the board.
And that's the bounce we were looking for. 13 seconds left on the Cleary penalty for the high stick, and Kuznetsov gets a friendly bounce here at the Joe in Detroit. Capitals are up 1-0. He's got his 11th goal of the season. Now he's got 14 in his career. Watch him wheel, and he's just going to take the shot. He's trying to go laterally. Goes right off the defender. No chance for Mrazek. One more look. There it is. Miller's stick gets a piece of it. Miller's trying to take away the seam pass. Had it cut off going to the far side, but it beats the goaltender. The Caps with a good bounce.
Yevgeny Kuznetsov giving Barry Trotz and the Caps the advantage at the 3:38 mark. A fluke. It looks like a picture-perfect goal for Washington by their standards right now, fighting for every point they can muster in the Metropolitan Division and Eastern Conference race. Red Wings looking to respond. Eric Sidlinski, former New Jersey Devil, will dump it in. Datsuk is pinned along the boards by Brooks Laich, who's playing center today. The long wrister from Smith goes wide of the cage. John Carlson will turn it on around for Brooks Orpik, with Datsuk digging in against him. To the deep slot, the wrister from Weiss was blocked. As the Capitals scuttle Detroit back through center, Laich doing the honors. We near the 5-minute mark. It's a 1-0 advantage for Washington. A power play goal from Yevgeny Kuznetsov. Folks, as always, we want you involved on Twitter today. Hashtag Capitals Talk. Where do you rank Alex Ovechkin among the greatest NHL goal scorers of all time? With the Caps on Comcast Sportsnet Mid-Atlantic today and all around the United States on the NHL Network. Weigh in on Twitter. Hashtag Capitals Talk. As the days and weeks go by in this season and Ovechkin's numbers climb through the roof, he moves into incredible company. You're seeing him side by side with the greatest goal-scoring names of all. So where do you rank him?
It's amazing. He's at the top in my book. I mean, you look at Gretzky, I'm not sure he can reach that pinnacle quite yet, but he could by the time his career's over. But Gretzky's the all-time greatest, Joe. He's racked up so many points. But OD now with 650 goal seasons, there's only two guys in the history of the game that have had more than him in their careers.
Alex will be poised to win his 5th Rocket Richard Trophy this year. Just a few games remaining. This is game number 80 in the regular season for Washington. 2 more home dates to follow this one. Already staked to a 1-0 advantage. A power play goal from Yevgeny Kuznetsov. Niskanen and Green with the assists, giving the visitors the advantage. Mike Green gallops back to play for Washington. Sends it on around for Joel Horde. Kronwall on a take back. Green answers there for the Caps, and he'll clear.
But it is an interesting question, isn't it? I think you've also got to look at eras of goal scorers around the NHL and look at the time, maybe the high-flying 80s compared to now when it's team-first defense.
Helm with a drive, and that's secured by Holtby. Locker on the Toyota League leaderboard. These are high flyers who hail from Mother Russia.
Can't get enough of Ovechkin here. Fedorov is being chased by Alex Ovechkin, 10, and he will pass him. He's ahead of Mogilny, just moved past him. Bure and Kovalev, the all-time 5 great Russians to play in the National Hockey League.
A few highlight reels there, just a few. As the Capitals and Wings settle into this defensive zone draw for Washington. The Caps were beaten up pretty soundly last night in Ottawa at the face-off dot. Mika Zibanejad was extraordinary. Latta will reverse the flow. Latta has one NHL goal. It came in this building last season. Rough housing with the wings along the boards. Wilson trying to fidget it free. It will be Latta who plops it back through center. Tom Wilson marching ahead. Burakovsky joins. Mrazek's way out on the angle to make that stop. John Carlson leans into a drive, and Mrazek punched that away.
Capitals have good legs. I've noticed it already. Really good drives, getting against the Detroit Red Wings and forcing their D to turn. Real good shot, looking for a rebound off the stick of Willie.
Mrazek, the netminder from the native of the Czech Republic, and you watch him play in the first few minutes, and you realize that he plays exceptionally aggressive. You may be able to work the backsides, the weak door plays may be the ones today for Washington.
Or the fake shot, right, and throw it across. Absolutely.
Brooks Light, marked by Glendening. Holtby steps out, makes that stop, and the quick cover just the same. As we've played 6 minutes and 41 seconds, the Caps get a great bounce to get things going. The power play percolating. Yevgeny Kuznetsov. 1-0 Caps in Detroit. On the Easter Bunny, Caps have a 1-0 advantage. Yevgeny Kuznetsov on the board. Star Trek's presented by Toyota Locker. We are looking at a pair of Russian gentlemen.
Yeah, point per game producers, 79 points and 78 for the grade 8 this season, racking up the goal scoring lead, 10 ahead of anybody near him. Should win that, as you mentioned. On the other side, Pavel Datsyuk, point per game, 60 points in 60 games. He's a guy that when he's in the lineup, they have a better chance to win. Their win percentage goes way up. He had missed the previous 7 of 9 prior to last night's game when he went back into the lineup against the Wild.
Had been dealing with an ankle injury. He's Detroit's second leading point producer. Red Wings win the draw. Long slapper sizzled wide of the cage. Kyle Quincy doing the honors. As the Caps work back with Backstrom on the rush. Flings it high on Mrazek over top of his shoulder. Deflection try. Mrazek to save on Brouwer. Rebound loose. They continue to dig for it, and Zetterberg bunts it to the corner.
Pretty good defense against Nick Backstrom. He couldn't fidget his stick onto the puck that was wide open in front of the crease.
Troy Brouwer returns it for Alzner. Alzner to the front off the skate boot of Johansson and wide of the goal. Backstrom and Alzner playing catch. Nicholas, deft touch inside for Johansson. Marcus lets it go. Pad save Mrazek. As the Capitals have already thrown a lot of rubber at Peter Mrazek in the game's first 7 minutes.
And we've seen early on, we know he's aggressive. We've already talked about that. But look at the last 2 or 3 shots. There have been pucks laying 1 foot above the paint. It's going to be important for the Capitals not to get all caught too close to the top of the crease. One guy's got to stay in the high slot. He may be able to pounce on those rebounds that he looks like he's leaving.
Mrazek throws this one back to center, where Brooks Orpik will reorganize for the Caps. Kuznetsov sends in Ovechkin, sliding between defenders, and then he rolled it wide of the goal. Datsyuk has the puck for Detroit, even in full strength. The Washington tally today from Kuznetsov came on the power play. This is icing against the Wings.
A great start here for the good guys on the road. Here's a couple of scrums around Mrazek, Joe. Notice the Caps just getting the pucks to the net. Look at how close they are. Look at how aggressive he is, and the puck's all over. Look at the puck's loose there for a second. Couldn't get their stick on. Another chance. Marcus is going to shoot. Watch where the rebound comes. There it is, but no white jerseys. Look at how tight they are to the net. You want to have net drives, but then you want to back away and look for some of that loose change.
Caps and Wings, 1 of 5 this Sunday afternoon and evening around the NHL. Earlier today, the Philadelphia Flyers continue their mastery over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Something is terribly wrong in Steel Town as the Red Wings look for this drive here deflected away with Tomas Tatar on the wrister. It's 1-0 for Washington this afternoon. Game notes, Troy Brouwer has been valuable for the Caps.
7th multi-point game of the season last night. 5 points in his last 5 games. He's got a career high in helpers. The Caps 7-2-1 in the last 10 games. Money on the roads, 5-1-1. The Wings, 520 goal scorers this season. We saw that with Ottawa also last night. So they've got a lot of good pop throughout their lineup.
Ottawa plays again this evening. They are in Toronto. That's a 7:30 Eastern time start as Chimera knocks this one down. Glenn Cross looking for light. That pass was snared by Timo Pulkkinen, Finnish-born winger.
Capitals have to use their size, Joe. This is not a very big Red Wing team when you consider Abdelkader's out, Franzen is out, Cole is out. That brings them size, and right now, those guys are out of the lineup. Capitals have to use their size and weight and extra oomph here today against Detroit.
Abdelkader sustaining an injury an evening ago in St. Paul.
He's having a great year, isn't he?
He had a fabulous month of March. He had 10 goals. Red Wings were a winner in a shootout in Minnesota last night. Washington was falling in overtime to the Senators. The Capitals' magic number to clinch a playoff berth vis-a-vis Ottawa is 3. Any combination of points earned by Washington or lost by Ottawa that equals 3, and the Caps are good to go.
This is the time of season you start cheering on other teams. Let's go, Leafs.
Johansson has the biscuit for Washington. Along the boards, Glendening nudged back through center as the former University of Michigan Wolverine. Johansson comes in there to throw a bump on Cleary.
Yeah, we've seen that from Mojo this year. You know, when we highlighted him at the top of the show in our open, the one stat that really came out to me was the fact that he's getting lots of hits, and that's a big part of the game. When you can skate like he can, he's making more contacts than he has in the past.
Riley Shane with a wrister that goes wide. Niskanen was there to defend. Zetterberg just off the Detroit bench. Henrik Zetterberg spun around, and that's going to be 2 minutes for holding against Matt Niskanen.
Could be OV going off, Joe B.
Alex Ovechkin is stepping towards the penalty box. It is the Great 8 who spun Zetterberg here. Detroit has the power play. Flag for holding. Washington has a 1-0 advantage. McDonald's trivia today. Folks, who's coached the most games for the Detroit Red Wings? Which of their coaches has coached the most games here in Detroit? Mike Babcock, currently the longest tenured bench boss in the NHL, his 10th season with Detroit. But who's coached the most in Red Wing history? Detroit looking to answer Washington's early power play strike with one of its own. Gus Nyquist, number 14, is the man to watch. He has 14 power play tallies this season for the Wings.
And like the Capitals, they're 1-2. You know, this is the second best power play in the league, Joe, and they've got 2 distinctive units. One with Zetterberg and one with Datsyuk. And they both can really hum. You got to stay out of the box against these 2 groups here in Detroit.
Light gets the bounce and squirts this one back to center away from Kronwall, who will regroup with Stephen Weiss. Weiss coughed it up. Light works in, winds, and drills it wide of Peter Mrazek, guarding the goal today for Detroit. Jimmy Howard was the victor last night, made 22 stops against the Wild.
He's had a hard time winning shootouts. They were happy to see him get the win.
Nyquist on the feed here for Weiss. Weiss plays it down low for Gus Nyquist, working the half board. Kronwall quickly to Weiss, then Nyquist to the front deflection. Holtby, a great save. He sprawls over and makes another one. Nyquist, topside, Kronwall bombs away. That was blocked. Ward not able to clear just yet.
That sure looked like it was out with the glove.
Nyquist settles. 48 seconds in the man advantage for the Wings. Zetterberg outside Kronwall. Zetterberg leans in, hammers that one that dips wide of the goal. Niskanen for Washington gets help from Backstrom, and he'll golf it into the Washington players bench for the whistle.
And that was very close to being offside, Joe. The puck was knocked up in the air, and watch this. Here it comes. Wow, that ever close there. Hard to detect there. And earlier in this power play, you see a couple of the good saves by Holtby. There, the stretch of the left pad and the follow-up also gets his body in front of that. Few repairs here. Braden Holtby, 71st game of the season, most by a goalie since 11-12. Hiller, Rene, and Kiprasov have done that before.
Braden Holtby today, 23 consecutive starts for himself, etching himself into the Washington record book. Red Wings control the draw, still a half a minute with which to work on the power play. Tatar feeds it for Zidlitsky. Bad pass there. Chimera will go in transition. Jason Chimera with Brouwer joining. There's a pass for Brouwer, and it just skipped over his blade. On the season, these Red Wings have allowed 8 shorties. Close to another one there. Polkinen feeds. Zidlitsky buggy whips that one high. That short windup that he gets so much power through on his slap shot. Helm bracketed in the corner. Ovechkin's out of the penalty box. The Caps do the job on their first shorthanded situation as Alex dangles in along the right wing boards. Caught there by Helm. Datsuk will turn it. 7:25 to play in this opening period. Kuznetsov from Niskanen and Green on the power play for Washington. They're one better than Detroit. Glenn Cross trickles this below the goal line. Glendening on the hop for the wing.
Capitals are really getting in the forecheck. That was the best check of the period given by Glenn Cross. The Capitals want to punish their defense. You know, Trotz talked about it. By the third period, you keep punching them. You keep giving them the shots and keep checking them. They're going to be weary down there and they cough up the puck.
Mike Green slithers in from point position. Green for Washington tallied last night in that comeback effort in Ottawa. As Glendening will stride through neutral for the wings. Cleary joining him. Native of Newfoundland. And Cleary getting in there on the forecheck. A bump two from Weiss and Drew Miller. As they work through center, this is Wilson on the go. Gleason slow to get back towards the bench for Washington.
Yeah, his head was smacked into the boards, just about a hit from behind, and he has given it to the referee. It should have been a penalty against Detroit.
It was Drew Miller there at the forecheck. Smith. Burakovsky takes back, feeds it to the front. Latta gives for Niskanen. Sprawling effort there by Mrazek. A fine stop again on top of the crease. Latta closing, and that's flagged down by the netminder.
Great pressure by the Washington Capitals, so-called fourth line. Earlier in the shift, watch Gleason. It's the first check and then a second shift. You could see his head slam right into a glass. That's a penalty. And the chance just happened moments ago. Niskanen working the puck around. Look at how crisp the Caps are moving the puck. And here comes Brouwer on a shorty, 2-on-1 with Chimera. Unlucky bounce. The Capitals really pacing well here in this hockey game. They've got their legs. They don't look weary at all here at the Joe.
Troy Brouwer on the year, 21 and counting, trailing only Alex Ovechkin when it comes to goals this season for Washington. Niskanen hammers that one right on. Mrazek saw it all the way. Sheahan is hiding behind the defense. Crunched there by Niskanen. We drift below 6 minutes to go in the opening period. Eriksson on the head man. Zetterberg gliding after Niskanen. He'll turn the corner and play it on through. Kronwall off the shins of Brouwer to carry him all the way into the Detroit zone. Both teams in the midst of line changes. Towering defender back there, Jonathan Eriksson. Scored the lone goal for Detroit in early January, the last time these two teams met. Washington prevailing 3-1. Ward deflects it ahead. On the move, Kuznetsov not going very far. Datsuk was there to pick his pocket. As the Wings clear it down, this is an icing against Detroit.
Good breakouts all around, especially from Orpik in the defense. They're giving it into the hands of the forwards with speed.
Playoff Clubhouse all-inclusive packs are moving fast. All you can eat and drink starts an hour prior to puck drop, runs through the second intermission. Visit WashingtonCaps.com. Evgeny Kuznetsov set to take this draw. Hoping to pull it back towards Alex Ovechkin, who leads the league in shots on goal. Linesman Kovacic has them set. Brooks Orpik will play. On through Ward and down. Mrazek will wait and leave for a turning DeKeyser. Danny DeKeyser is a 25-year-old Michigan native. Up the gut to Tomas Tatar, who leads this team in goals. Tatar settles. Fans as he pulled the trigger. Orpik was waiting for him. Joel Ward. Bad clear. Tatar towards the cage, a routine stop for Braden Holtby. Shots on goal to this point favoring the Caps, 13-6 unofficially. as John Carlson will weather the forecheck from Helm. Orpik to a turning Brooks Light just off the bench. DeKeyser connecting with Glendening. Cleary continues to thrust. He's cleaned out by Brooks Orpik. Orpik leads all NHL blue liners in hits by a mile, I might add, this season. You get a nice level look at the fray in the corner. 4 and 5, now 6 players in that scrum. John Carlson muscling up there as Holtby with an active goalie stick intercepted that centering pass. Glendening swivels. Carlson still with him. Light wins the board battle, and away come the Caps with Chimera in charge. He and Glencross 2-on-2. Glencross fires. That was muffled by Zidlitsky. Zetterberg for the wings. Scoops it ahead. Tim Gleason none the worse for wear after that double-team forecheck he sustained from Cleary and Miller. Smith, rugged customer in his own right for Sheahan. Knocked out of the air by Nyquist. Straightened up by Gleason. Sturdy defender for Washington. Sends Backstrom the other way. Nicholas fumbled. Nyquist closing right to the chest of Holtby. Rebound loose. Zetterberg makes one more pass. Ill-advised, perhaps.
And that's why Nyquist has 26 goals. Just explosive. Once the Capitals turned it over, he created the best scoring chance for his team here in the first.
Johansson on the go. A wrister that was blocked by DeKeyser. 2:40 with which to work in the opening period, separating us from Zayo intermission line. The Niskanen pass was a bad one. Zetterberg takes it and he'll clear for Detroit. Returning Tom Wilson hustles it ahead for Marcus Johansson. The trailer is Niskanen, and he broke his stick in half. DeKeyser gallops out of his own end. Weiss moves it on the wing for Pulkkinen. He's cleaned out by Niskanen, who's still without a hockey stick. Takes a handoff there from Marcus Johansson, who begs the bench for a new one. Niskanen around. Wilson there. Washington looking to clear. 2 minutes and change to go in period one. Kuznetsov on the board for the Capitals. Burakovsky driving hard. Andre into the lineup with Eric Bear out today, giving Mrazek fits as Mrazek recovers to stop the rookie in time. As they mug it up in front of the cage, we step away to commercial break. 1 minute, 51 seconds to go. Caps in the driver's seat. Thompson Creek with this window of opportunity. We're checking out Mike Green recently.
Yeah, right side wicket slap shot against Nashville. Got a lucky bounce off the defender's stick. Balkin as he deflects it past his own goaltender, LeWarden. And then last night, a thing of beauty. Remember this? Seems every season he's been in the league, sneaking in and then putting her top shelf. Beautiful pass by Nick Backstrom.
Mike Green now 5th on the Washington point scoring list, as the Capitals come in with 43 victories, 97 points in the Metropolitan Division race. 1 point behind the New York Islanders when the day began in the Metro. Looking at the shots on goal story so far tonight, those that were attempted as well as blocked. Washington gets on the board. A lucky bounce. Kuznetsov's 11th. Niskanen and Green at 338. The only marker of which to speak so far. Mrazek's been busy. He's already stared down 14 shots on goal from the Caps as Tatar moseys ahead. Speedy trio there with Helm and Datsyuk. Stopped there by Holtby. Rebounding, made the pad save on Tatar as Ovechkin will carry through center.
And that whole play started because the Capitals got caught. 3 guys below the top of the circles. That was a quick 3-on-2 by that quick line.
Eriksson will trickle the puck to center, where Niskanen waits for his guys to get back on side before driving it in. Just over a minute in this first period. Kronwall exits the zone with the help of Nyquist. Throws it right to the gloved hand of Holtby, and he'll hang on. Braden Holtby, the 25-year-old Saskatchewan native, looking for NHL win number 100 should he prevail today. Having himself a marvelous season. Karl Alzner looking to protect him. in the final 54 seconds of the first. Alsner, who will send it around. Quincy did not get there in time. Delayed offside against Detroit. Washed out as they tag up. Backstrom on the headman, on the money. Johansson fires too high there. Brouwer looking for any loose rebounds. Sheahan trying to clear. Brouwer sends it south of the goal line. Quincy to it for Detroit. 23 seconds in the period. Sheahan and Nyquist working back through center. Alsner keeping an eye on Nyquist well there. Backstrom gets to the outside. Nicholas, one hand on his blade. Smith runs into the backboards. Glendening golfs at it. 3 seconds to go. And that'll do it for the opening 20 minutes today in Detroit, Michigan.
Very good first 20 minutes for the Capitals. They came out, they used their legs. They had some momentum that they built last night. It carried over into the first. A very good 20 minutes for Braden and the boys.
Sayo Intermission Live is coming up on the net. Locker should have a guest with him very soon. Highlights and stats from here in the booth, and then we'll put Craig to work again on the Mercedes-Benz Telestrator. 4 other games today, all of them huge. Plenty of playoff implications for the Easter Bunny to ponder. Sayo Intermission Live is straight up. This Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Capitals hockey is being brought to you by Toyota. Check out the bold new 2015 Camry and visit buyatoyota.com for offers. Papa John's, if the Caps win and score 4 or more goals, get 50% off any online order tomorrow at participating Papa John's locations. MedStar Health, official medical team of the Washington Capitals. And by Mercedes-Benz of Arlington and Mercedes-Benz of Alexandria. Temperatures in the low 50s today here in Detroit. Washington has a 1-0 advantage against the Red Wings with the action of the NHL. The Detroit Tigers will host the Minnesota Twins Major League Baseball opener at Comerica Park. Washington faithful anxious to see Max Scherzer lead the Nats to the field. Their opening day assignment against the New York Mets at Nats Park. And as we return to the NHL action, Washington hoping to finish up its road slate of the regular season in fine style. A 1-0 leader over Detroit today. A 5 p.m. local time start with the Capitals sitting at a magic number of 3 to clinch a playoff berth in the East with respect to the Ottawa Senators, who play later on tonight at Air Canada Centre against the Leafs, who always seem to give them trouble.
Well, it's a Battle of Ontario. They really ramp up their game for that. It's an important game for those two teams, more so for Ottawa. And Toronto wants to be a spoiler. It should be a good one at 7:30 tonight.
A magic number of 3. Any number of points that the Capitals earn or that Ottawa loses, as Zetterberg tests Holtby there.
He's not going to miss too many of them. Real good lateral movement by the Red Wings, going from right side to left side. He was wide open.
Clear ahead came through. Ovechkin to center. Ovechkin and Ward and Kuznetsov assembled again, as they have been throughout this road trip for Washington. Capitals are missing Eric Fehr today. Upper body injury sustained last night. He's day-to-day. They're also without Jay Beagle, who's been missing for a while now, as Holtby will cover up. Nissan shows us the road to the playoffs. We are looking at the lay of the land in the Eastern Conference.
You know, you take a look at the top guys there. The Rangers, the Canadiens have all clinched in the Eastern Conference. You know, took a look at the Islanders trying to be caught by the Capitals. The Red Wings, they're not out of the woods yet either, along with the Penguins, the Bruins, and the Senators. What a battle for the final 2 to 3 spots in the Eastern Conference.
Something is wrong with Pittsburgh. They lost again to Philadelphia. The Flyers scoring 3 power play goals today. That's the 8th straight time that the Orange and Black has beaten Pittsburgh. Backstrom wins the draw for Washington. Two teams are at even and full strength. Washington's lone goal, the power play tally from Yevgeny Kuznetsov at the 3:38 mark.
I was sort of surprised they went with their backup goaltender rather than the Flower again in back-to-back games.
This wrister deflected in a pad save for Holtby with a delayed penalty call coming up now against Washington. Mrazek sprints to the bench. 6 attackers on in red for Detroit. Long wrister turned aside by Holtby. Delayed penalty call against Washington. Tatar zooms back to point position. Long slapper deflected in front. And as Carlson touches it up, the Caps go a man down.
And it's going to be Brooks Orpik going. He had his man tied up the whole game long, this whole shift. That's Luke Glendening. And he's going to take the penalty right here. Glendening gives him a little shot. Then he's going to get the puck on a rebound. And there's the little hook. And that's the call. And then he still holds on to Glendening as he's trying to get room and away from Orpik in front of the net, even with the extra attacker.
No team in the NHL has more power play goals than the Detroit Red Wings. Even though Washington is ranked #1 by percentage value, Detroit is ultra dangerous. Datsyuk fires. Holtby gets a little sliver of that on the way by. Tatar there, run to the boards by Niskanen. Zidlitsky closing. The wrister that's armed aside. Holtby got a little bit of it with the blocker, and then it's one-handed down by Troy Brouwer.
To further your thoughts on the Wings, 39 power play goals on home ice is the most in the NHL. And they get a ton of chances. Only Dallas gets more opportunities with their extra man on their home ice.
Hulkinen fires. It's stopped by Holtby. As you saw the power play stats packaged by the UPS store. Gleason's in an ornery mood after he was hit pretty hard by Drew Miller in the first.
Hulkinen coming up the wing, left side. Watch him get a little backhand pass there by Pavel Datsyuk. Hard off the angle. And there's the finish on the end, getting involved with Gleason, who from day one with the Caps till now has got better and better. I think it's comfort knowing the system, knowing the style, coming from Carolina in that deadline deal.
Orpik serves another 125 for his trip. As the Red Wings control, Kronwall shifting gears with Zetterberg. Henrik Zetterberg plays it down low between the skates. Sheahan looking for Weiss. Gleason hustles to it. Gets help there from Backstrom. Red Wings have possession. Sheahan on the feed. Down low looking for the tip-in of Weiss. It came right on by him.
Thank God for overpassing there by the Wings.
Nyquist fires, stopped by Holtby, and he has it secured.
Yeah, good opportunities for the Detroit Red Wings. You know, with Orpik in the box, who's one of the top penalty killers, Gleason gets moved into that rotation with Carlson. There's the best opportunity. A little play down low through the legs. You can see the Detroit Red Wings want to get pucks to the net with a screen. Notice no rebounds coming off Holtby at the other end. Mrazek seems to be giving up a bunch. Got to watch Nyquist when they're on the power play.
Nyquist, Zetterberg, Sheahan across the top. Weiss and Kronwall in back for the Red Wings, skating 5-on-4. Zetterberg, the captain, hooks, plays the half board. Kronwall switch the point of attack for Weiss, another playmaker. Kronwall blasts, stopped by Holtby, the ricochet to the corner boards. Capitals a man down for another 37 seconds. As it's spirited free by Alsner, the length of the ice. Approaching the 4-minute mark of the second period, 34-year-old Niklas Kronwall will bring it ahead. Familiar drop pass to the trailer. That's Datsyuk through center. For so many years, that's been the power play break-in.
Everybody knows it's coming, but it's too hard to defend with that guy with the puck.
Zidlitsky lets it fly, jabbed at there by Holtby. For the longest time, it would have been Lidstrom leaving for Datsyuk. Wonderful defender for so many years in Detroit. Nicklas Lidstrom. Washington a 1-goal advantage. Back to even in full strength, 5-on-5. The send-away for Datsyuk is off of his blade. Green rolls it on around and clear through DeKaiser, where icing will be washed out. Peter Mrazek enters the picture. Quincy goes glass to get it back to neutral. Shots on goal for the game now are flat even at 14. Kuznetsov on the go. Passes behind Ovechkin. Glenn Cross managed to keep it in. Drew Miller hustling back for it. To the deep slot there for Ovechkin. Glance to Gleason. Then Green steps in, fires. He scores! Mike Green with a laser beam.
And Greeny's into double digits. We showed you his 3 goals recently in the first period. Now he blasts one. This is one of his nicest slap shots I have seen. He's got 10 goals. Now 3 goals his last 3 games or 4 games. 10th goal of the season, 113. Gleason will get the primary assist. It is just a blast. Notice that catching glove gets up late by Mrazek. He's down, and here comes the shot. And it chips off the top of his glove into the back of the twine. The Caps have a 2-0 lead here in the second.
Mike Green, who's done so much of his damage this season in the second period. Now 9 of his 10 goals at even strength. Washington 2 better than homestanding Detroit. Smith will give some ground through center. Zidlitsky clears in. It'll roll all the way for Light. Chimera turns it ahead. Pulkkinen keeping it in the offensive zone for the Red Wings. Weiss says hello to Orpik as Carlson clears it straight ahead on through Johansson and down. Mrazek had to leave the crease. Johansson was going to get there first, thus there would be no icing. Teemu Pulkkinen, hard-shooting Finn. Player who has tormented American Hockey League goalies for a couple seasons.
It's always the case the way they develop players here in Detroit. You don't get to play with the Wings until you spend some time in the American Hockey League. Their affiliate has been very good to them, the way they develop the Red Wing style.
Could have a too many men on the ice penalty call here.
I think they do. The Red Wings are going to be nicked here. The Caps will go to a power play to try to make it 3-0. And wouldn't that be something here on the road? The linesmen detect too many men on the Red Wings ice. Mike Babcock looking on, saying who's going to serve this penalty. He's got to send someone over. He's going to get ready, and he's got to get the penalty killers ready. Much better start, better feeling, obviously. Check out, there's 5 guys, and then you're going to have a guy jump on, then jump off right there. And that's Zetterberg, and you see the Capitals react to that, and they help the referees and linesmen make that call here in the second.
Backstrom, Brouwer, Johansson, Ovechkin, and Carlson 5 on the ice as the Wings are nicked with a too many men on the ice penalty. John Carlson and this top-ranked Washington power play trying to put a stranglehold on this game. As soon as I say that, I think back to a 3-0 lead last night. Drew Miller, shorthanded. Miller forced to the outside.
Yeah, watch him and watch Darren Helm. They get some breakaways when they're killing penalties.
Miller has a shorthanded goal against Florida this year. Here's a turnover. Good pad save by Holtby as he denied Helm.
And it looked like Obi was stung a little bit in the left corner next to Holtby. In the boards, we'll see how he works out here on this power play.
John Carlson away from Helm. Tremendously fluid skater, 43 in the red. He'll go after Carlson again as Holtby gets into the act.
Recently had their second child, him and his girlfriend. Didn't make it to the hospital, Joe.
Oh,
had to have it on the side of the road about 5 minutes away from the hospital. That was just a couple of weeks ago.
So much for sterile condition. Niskanen on the hop for Washington. 7 minutes into the second period. Caps 2 better than the Wings on the strength of a second period goal from Mike Green. Green from Gleason and Ovechkin. This is icing against the Caps power play, which has been bleh so far.
Yeah, it's a good way to describe it. Just not getting the puck on the sticks. The breakouts haven't been clean. They've turned the puck over. They hound you, this Red Wing team. You've got to be short, crisp passes to generate that speed coming up ice.
Red Wings have allowed power play goals in 4 of their last 5 outings, including the Kuznetsov first period marker today. Miller to the front for Glendening. As Ovechkin plays it on the flank for Glenn Cross, the send in for Joel Hoard. Washington's total of power play tally second only to Detroit. Kronwall able to clear. Joe Louis Arena faithful, they seat better than 20,000 for NHL action. They're appreciative of the penalty killing thus far. As Niskanen will send it in. Mrazek had an issue with that dump in. Glenn Cross for Washington. Leaves it on the backboards to Ward. Turn it for Green. Closing. Rister weakened on the way there defensively. Brendan Smith doing the honors. Weiss will carry ahead. On for Anderson. Joachim Anderson to the point. Zidlitsky's long slapper. No troubles for Holtby. Jason Chimera on the go for Washington. He and Smith had a memorable encounter earlier in the year. Left Jason with a crooked nose way back in October. Green scales in.
He's not going to be in movies anyways. That's going to come back to haunt me, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it will.
Somehow I'm going to put it on you.
Yeah, figures. Light fires, that's blocked. Follow-up chance didn't get through. They tee it up for Alzner. Bring it this way to Wilson. And it's gloved by Mrazek. 8 minutes and 39 seconds into period 2. Tom Wilson always in an ornery mood. Mike Green pretty happy this Easter Sunday. On the board again with his 10th. It's 2-0 Capitals. Dean Lambert with our Legal Seafoods Bite of the Night concerning what was necessary for Washington to conclude this road trip in good order.
Spent part of his career right here with the Detroit Red Wings.
Drafted by the Wings in the early 80s, had a 20-goal season as a rookie with Detroit.
Pain in the butt to play against. That's all I can tell you that.
Right as that team was getting involved in the Yzerman years. Zetterberg with his fellow Swedish Olympic teammate Nicklas Backstrom close by. Washington has a 2-0 advantage if you're just tuning in with us with the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet and the NHL Network today. This is offside against Washington. Kuznetsov in the first, Green in the second, and the Caps have a 2-goal lead.
Red Wings are having a real tough time against Marcus Johansson, Kuznetsov, and the Caps in this hockey game, navigating between the two blue lines. The Capitals have been very good defensively. This is a Babcock team that likes to come up the middle, likes to wheel and deal through the neutral zone. The Caps, for the most part, Joe, have closed that off here today.
Capitals, a magic number of 3. Any combination of points earned by Washington or lost by Ottawa that equal 3. In that sense, the Senators would not be able to catch the Capitals in the Eastern Conference race. They will have assured themselves of at least a wild card berth, and then you see how high you can go with respect to the Metropolitan Division. Ovechkin fires, that goes wide. He had that set up well. Kuznetsov gloves it down, trickles it towards the cage. Eriksson connecting with Tatar. Back through center comes Helm. Poke checked by John Carlson.
And that's the point I just made about the way the 5 guys are working between the two blue lines. There's not a lot of gap. The D are able to step up because they have forward support. The Red Wings just aren't navigating through the two blues.
Carlson at his attacking blue line, forced back to center as Orpik will help out. Midway mark of regulation time. Shots on goal of 21-16 now for Detroit.
And that was a misread by Carlson and Kuznetsov. Carlson thought Kuznetsov was going to dart between the two D and hit him with that stretch pass. We just talked about Lane Lambert, and let's take a look at it graphically. There's the draft in '83. There you take a look at the picks. Yzerman, Lambert, Probert, Klima, Kocur, and Stu, the Grim Reaper.
That team was in transition at that time, and then they would start the ball rolling, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it sure looked like they were trying to get tougher, too, with that list there.
23 straight appearances in the Stanley Cup playoffs for this Detroit squad. They've been the model of consistency, 100-plus points in 12 of the last 14 seasons. Anderson on the go. Poke check comes from Michael Latta defensively as Wilson will turn for Washington.
Pretty good buy by the Ilitches back in '82 also, Joe B.
Wilson was undercut there. A penalty call coming up.
And now there's going to be more than that because Gleason's going right after
Zidlitsky.
Yeah.
He thought it was a dirty low hit on Wilson.
Yep. Catapulted him head over heels. And that's why Gleason right in the fray. Gleason's a guy that has great respect around the league and is noticed for sticking up for his teammates. He went right after him.
Wilson fouled here. Then we'll wait for all the penalties to unfold. Marek Zidlitsky's in the penalty box for Detroit. The Caps have a 2-0 advantage. Our military salute is brought to you by Pentagon Federal Credit Union. Today's honoree, First Lieutenant Jeff Ball, who's been an active member of the U.S. Marine Corps since 2012. Jeff, we thank you for doing what you do. We appreciate it very, very much.
Yeah, the Caps will go to another power play here in the second period as Babcock's team down by 2. One more look at the hit. Zidlitsky stepping up. Watch the puck dumped in. Not sure it's low. I would rather say it's late in upending the Capitals' Big Wilson.
Face-off to come in neutral ice. Tom Wilson A-OK after that hit. Although you could see him look very quizzically in Zidlitsky's direction. The call is clipping against Marek Zidlitsky. Tim Gleason recognized it as a bad hit, a potentially low knee-threatening type hit. Power play stats are packaged by the UPS stores. The Capitals try to go 3 better than Detroit. Ovechkin sends it on around. Detroit faithful not too pleased with that call. The referees, Pakmara and McCauley.
I know Babcock was giving it to the referee next to the bench. Very unhappy with the call. Zetterberg tried to get over there and explain what he saw, which was a hip check rather than a low check.
5-on-4 for the guys in the white sweaters. John Carlson sprints to keep it in. Carlson casually plays it on the flank for Nicholas Backstrom. Brouwer to the slot along with Johansson. That tandem screen. Ovechkin fires. It almost squirts through Mrazek. He had just enough of it.
That pass just a little in front of him, which jammed OG a little bit and allowed Mrazek to get across.
John Carlson will retreat. Wind it up with Ovechkin at center. 1:03 in the Washington man advantage. 8:30 to go in the second period. 2-0 Caps. Ovechkin steps into the attack zone. Alex Ovechkin leaves it back behind the cage. Mrazek bunts it, and the Wings do not clear. Great keep in by Carlson. Johansson fidgets for Backstrom. The centering pass, well read by Mrazek. He angles it away.
So important for goaltenders to have good stick work, and that Mrazek does, Joe. He's a good player with the puck around the net, and they're a real good poke check preventing that puck to go to Ovechkin.
Erickson around the boards, but not through Green. Washington still working on the attack. Another 24 seconds on the power play. Snapshot secured there by Mrazek. Yevgeny Kuznetsov sneaking off that half board. The assist leaders presented by Hyundai. Let them assist you in scoring the lowest prices on the hottest lineup in America. Nick has the knack.
Yeah, tied with Voracek, who had one today. Crosby, Sedin, and Sedin round out our top 5, brought to you all season long by Hyundai.
We thank them and all of our generous sponsors for their support throughout the season. This the final road game of the regular season for the Caps as Niskanen hammers one towards the cage. A wild
They're
scramble.
Get a goalie interference
Ward
call.
was in there again.
Yep.
Joel Ward, who was whistled for goalie interference last night.
You know, they give it to them about the call. You know, the next thing you do, it's going to be infraction against your team. It's just the way it is. And here you're going to see Joel Ward as Niskanen tees it up, and Wardo's going to complain again. Here's the shot off the knee, and there's the defender, Hacken, and he's trying to get to the puck. And on this one, I could say it probably is goaltender interference. You've got to give him the right of way. Although he's going for the puck, he's trying to get around him. Is he pushed by DeKaiser? A little bit, but he's trying to worm his way to that loose puck, which sends Ward to the box.
It's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't things, right?
Yeah.
Go to the net, go to the net, go to the net.
Exactly,
keep bumping the
Joby.
goalie.
Yeah, that's a penalty.
Mrazek stares at the other end of the rink. Braden Holtby guarding the Washington cage. So we'll go 4-on-4 for 14 seconds. Zidlitsky's minor for clipping will then expire, and then the Red Wings will go on an abbreviated power play. Detroit a winner last night in the shootout in St. Paul, Minnesota, 3-2 over the Wild. Washington fell in overtime in Ottawa. Kyle Turris winning it for the Senators. Washington rallying from a 3-0 deficit in that game to earn a point, with every point sacred in the playoff chase. These power play stats are packaged by the UPS store. Third advantage for the Wings. Kronwall leaves it in his wake for Tatar. Back to Kronwall, this way for Zidlitsky. Another power play gun for the Red Wings, just what they needed.
And he's a right shot, which they really needed.
Here it comes. Blocked in front. Datsuk follows down low, score. A chip in for Darren Helm.
That was a well-disguised fake shot that then became a pass, and it's a layup. Left side of the screen, Helm collects the puck. He's going to go seam and then go to the net. Here comes the Zidlitsky shot. It's going to pop back out to the left, and look at that pass. The goaltender's thinking shot. Everyone's thinking let's all move to that side, and it's a beautiful pass. Tatar in front of the net, and there's that pass. Beautifully put right on the tape. Darren Helm, he had the 6x4 all to himself.
Set up splendidly by Pavel Datsuk. Helm gets his 14th on the season. It's 12:59. Helm, who had gone without a point in each of his last 8 games prior to today, getting Detroit back within one with 6:50 to go in the middle stanza. Quincy towards the goal, blocked down in front by Marcus Johansson. 2 teams back to 5-on-5. The dangerous Nyquist overlapping with Zetterberg. Henrik Zetterberg fidgets away from Nicholas Backstrom. 2 powerfully built centers who protect the puck extremely well. Marcus Johansson able to just trickle it back to neutral. On the run, here's John Carlson. Carlson fires a dipping drive that goes wide of the goal. 5-on-5 now with 6:15 to go in the second. Washington strikes from Kuznetsov and Green. Helm on the power play for Detroit. Green there for the Capitals. Sends it on around for Gleason. Shimmies loose from Glendening. Smart looking break out to Kuznetsov. 3 abreast of the attacking line. Ovechkin fires. Shrugged away by Mrazek. Joel Ward. Sharp angle. Ovechkin and Mrazek somehow managed to get to the post to cover that one. We step out to commercial break with 5:48 to go in the second. The Red Wings needed to stem the tide. Their power play provides on CSN. Those have a 2-1 advantage over the Red Wings. Sergei Fedorov, so much fame as a Detroit Red Wing, didn't do half bad as a Washington Cap. This evening's Caps 40th anniversary moment brought to you by the Virginia Lottery. Locker back to the Stanley Cup playoffs of '09.
He could fly. Most goals ever by a Russian-born player is Sergei Fedorov. Here he comes down the flank, looks over, pretends he's going to pass, and then rips it short side. The place goes crazy. Rocking the red indeed over the Rangers. I wish Alf Koken would help me out with the lottery. He called that goal that night for Sergei Fedorov.
Had the foreshadowing. Barry Trotz's team, 43 victories, 97 points. Detroit, 41 wins, 95 points. Tightly bunched in the Eastern Conference. 2-1 today with Washington in the white sweaters. Heading home for a Boston game on Wednesday that will air nationally on NBCSN. We have the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet right now for you. All around the country in the United States on the NHL Network. Joe Beninati and Craig Laughlin shouting out thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew for their efforts. Busy day for our traveling techs. Steve, Dave, and Adam getting us on the air after the quick turnaround from Ottawa.
They have to be here early, don't they?
Don't they? Don't they? Green working back through center while Locker gets his beauty sleep.
Yeah.
Lada looking for this one. Lost it there to Datsuk.
I didn't sleep in today.
Tatar and Datsuk playing catch. Tatar lets it go. Blocked by Orpik. Solid defensive play there from 44 in the white. Quincy bumps it for DeKaiser. Rister goes wide of a screened Braden Holtby.
And Wardo, no stick. It shattered on that play to the net.
All the way down. Icing call against Washington. Hadid shows us the road ahead. Just 2 games to go.
Yeah, not a big chart here tonight. Take a look at the next game. Will be covered nationally, as Joe B just mentioned, against the Boston Bruins. 8 o'clock tilt on NBCSN. Then we're back with you Saturday versus the Rangers. Notice a change in start time. It was usually at 3. It's now been put to 12:30. We'll have all the actions, including a pre- and post-game show Saturday starting at 12.
Boston in scramble mode in the Eastern playoff chase. The Rangers are feeling comfy. Nyquist, 5 goals in 5 games against the Caps prior to today's action. Had a hat trick against them a season ago. Along the boards, even in full strength. Green loops it. It's off of the rink.
They're going to talk about it. They're saying it hit a stick. The fans are all over it, saying it should be a delay, and I think the referee's going to buy it. I think it's going to be Green going to the box. They're definitely going to talk about it. The linesmen and the referee have to huddle up before they make this call.
If the clearing attempt from the defensive zone goes over the glass without caroming off the glass or a forechecking stick, it's delay of game. Take a look.
Yeah, here they are working down low. Here comes Green. He's shot so hard to see there if it hit anything on the way out. Can't notice. Notice the Red Wings reaction there. Immediately point to the ceiling. meaning it's up and over. We just can't see it on this replay here. It's hard to detect the puck going up and over the glass. It went over the glass. Did it hit anything? That's what the zebra stripes are talking about.
All four of them, all four sets of eyes. All of them in conversation. Face off. The gesture is that it's going to be in the Washington zone, and it's delay of game against Mike Green. Critical penalty-killing juncture here for Washington. Red Wings are 1 for 2 on the man advantage last night in St. Paul. They've got a power play goal from Darren Helm at 12:59 here in the second.
Sort of similar penalties as last night. You know, we had a goalie interference call on Ward. We had a delay of game penalty over the glass by Braden Holtby as we look at our UPS store power play stats.
John Carlson didn't get it out. Zidlitzky rolls it on for Tatar. He fires. That was blocked by Brouwer. Orpik around the turnstile. Datsuk took away the boards. Centering pass, gorgeous, great save, Holtby, follow-up chance, didn't go. Tatar from the sharp angle. Zidlitzky cranks that one, blocked down in front. Red Wings threatening. Tatar pulls the trigger, Holtby got it with a blocker
no
there.
stick for Brouwer.
Brouwer diving to intercept with his glove. He's going to get called for covering the puck with his hand.
Oh my Lord.
Closing the hand on the puck.
You can sweep the puck. You can't put your glove over top of it. Here's the play. I just mentioned he didn't have a stick. There he is, putting the glove over top. Now he's going to sweep it away, and that's going to cause the minor penalty. Sort of looked like it got underneath him, not really underneath his glove. The referee deemed he put his whole hand on top of it. Trutz's team goes back to a 3-on-5.
Oh, it's that sickening deja vu feeling from last night.
Sure is.
3:46 to go in the second period. 5-on-3 for the Red Wings for 131. They look for the equalizer. Zidlitzky and Kronwall man the points. Zidlitzky feeds for Zetterberg. Zidlitzky's one-timer. Stop. Rebound there. At the doorstep, Holtby will cover.
Well, there's no pass in Zidlitzky, so you might as well just go out in front of him because he's just going to bomb away with traffic in front. There's Holtby getting up very slowly there. The puck underneath his left pad. Just trying to get his balance again, Joe. Very slow getting up on that last save. Here you'll see the play going back to Zidlitzky. There's the shot. He knuckled it, did not catch it. And there's the stretch by Holtby. And that hurts all the way up here, the way he threw that left leg out, Joe.
Oh, my goodness, Craig. You realize what we're looking at here? This late in the season?
He made one of those saves last night, or actually he didn't, as Zibanejad's shot got by him. But when he threw that leg out to try to recover, you could just see him grimace. Very slow getting up here.
71st appearance, number 1 in the NHL this season, as Justin Peters loosens up in the tunnel should need be. Braden Holtby, who relies on that flexibility, the elasticity, the explosiveness. Have a peek at him moving in the crease.
Yeah, there's the shank of the shot. Watch his left leg. Look at that. Oh. Got his sort of right leg caught on the top of his skate and then went to splits. Good sign, Caps fans. He's set to go here on this faceoff.
Athletic trainer Greg Smith walking by himself back to the bench, leaving the star netminder in the crease.
Saw a similar play last night, Kariyamo in Calgary early on in the game, about 30 seconds. Same type of splits that sent him off to the bench.
It won't be easy here for Braden. 1:16 left of a 2-man advantage for Detroit. Late in the second period, Niskanen gets it out.
That makes it a little easier. Great face-off win by Nick Backstrom.
Kronwall, Datsuk, Zetterberg, Zidlitzky, and Sheahan. 5 on the ice for Mike Babcock. 2-man advantage for 58 seconds. Zidlitzky at a point position. He'll interchange with Kronwall. Bump to the slot. Played there and cleared by Backstrom.
Datsuk is not going to make that play too often. You never see that type of misplay with the puck and puck management by the great Pavel Datsuk. The Caps will take it.
38 seconds left in the 2-man disadvantage. Datsuk teaming up with Zidlitzky. Zidlitzky to a better shooting lane. Keep it on the outside, Zetterberg. Zidlitsky, then Kronwall one-timer, blocked by Orpik. 23 seconds in the two-man disadvantage for Washington. Kronwall steps in, slides to Datsuk, feed it for Zidlitsky, lets it go, glove save, Holtby.
Now, I've watched a lot of tape from Detroit, and they're trying to set him up all the time. You see Kronwall and him switch off sometimes to get on their strong or weak side, but that's the marquee play on their power play, is to find him. Notice the Datsuk pass was not in the wheelhouse. He loves to one-time the puck. There he had to catch, corral, and then rip it to the glove of Braden Holtby.
Those numbers, including his time with New Jersey this year. 6 of his 7 goals, Zidlitsky, on the man advantage in this campaign.
Yeah, timeout Detroit right now. They think that this is a critical part of the hockey game, and Babcock's going to call over his 5 guys on the power play to just give him some instructions. And there he is, the head coach. All huddled around are the players.
The winningest head coach in the Detroit Red Wing history, Mike Babcock, calmly assessing the situation as Holtby continues to flex his leg in that goal crease. 2-1 Washington. The Caps were down a couple of men an evening ago. Look at how far Holtby has to stretch there.
Yeah, and look at that split. That's the one I was just talking about. And then you see this one tonight as he's trying to corral the puck. And look at the splits again. Just amazing. Flexibility, coordination, you name it. Gumby is Holtby between the pipes here.
Braden Holtby trying to get his team through this delicate two-man disadvantage. You see the career numbers on the verge of 100 overall wins and solid showings against Detroit.
I'm not a trainer, but Braden, keep that leg moving in between periods.
After today, the Capitals will wait till Wednesday night to entertain Boston. This is the end of a 3-game, 4-day stretch. Stalemate on the draw. Red Wings have possession. Kronwall creeping in. Fires! That goes high. Rebound for Zetterberg on its bumpy way. 4 seconds in the two-man advantage. To the slot. Came on through. Zidlitsky pressured by Backstrom. Datsuk there. Backstrom takes it away and he'll clear. Green is out of the box. Washington is 20 seconds away from getting out unscathed. Zetterberg lopes into the zone. Zetterberg feeds it. Deep slot Zidlitsky. Good back check there by Ward. It's closing into Kaiser. Fires. That didn't get through the pack. Loose at the doorstep. Off the pipe. No goal for Tatar. Helm. His drive silenced by Orpik. He'll clear. Washington survives the two-man disadvantage for 131.
Huge kill. They came into last night allowing just one of those. They had 2 against them last night against Ottawa, so they've had 3 total. Real good kill. The best chance, Tatar, right there off the post. The 20,000 thought he had just tied it up.
As the puck is deflected off the rink, we revisit the action around Holtby's crease a few moments ago.
His hands were going up in the air. Here he is, backhand and directly off the pipe and out the other side. There's his arms going up. Little premature. Mr. Tatar off the post and out the other side. Didn't get the Red Wing bounce here at the Joe.
Tomas Tatar, a career high in goals for himself this year. He thought he had another one there. And the Washington Capitals, with Braden Holtby leading the charge. Penalty killing extraordinaire. Shutting down a Red Wing two-man advantage for 131. The Red Wings with the most power play goals in all the NHL do not get one there. It remains a 2-1 Washington lead. Chimera digging it loose in the corner. Help comes from Curtis Glencross. Back to 5-on-5 play. Green cranks it. Doesn't pull the trigger yet. Glencross is bottled up by Zidlitsky. Brooks Light with Glendening cloaked over him. Chimera choosing Glencross. Jason Chimera off the cycle. Glencross matched up with Drew Miller. Smith pouncing on it for the Wings, and he'll settle. Brendan Smith, the former All-American at the University of Wisconsin, taking his sweet time to work out of the Red Wing D zone with 35 seconds separating us from Zayo intermission live. Capitals blocking a ton of shots this afternoon. Helm speedily into the offensive zone. Turns one towards the goal. Back checking Kuznetsov was ready.
That's the only way he knows how to enter the zone, isn't it?
He skates so beautifully. Along the boards. It's cleared out by Ward to center. 10 ticks left right now in the period. Green dodging the forecheck of Datsuk, gets it to neutral ice. So Washington will carry a 1-goal advantage off to the dressing room after 40 minutes of play today.
Well done by the Caps and Braden Holtby. Anytime you can shut down a 5-on-3, you may have some momentum on their side. Look for a real good third period straight ahead.
Braden Holtby, thank goodness, making his way over to the bench now. Greg Laughlin should have a guest with him soon. Highlights and stats, news and notes from around the NHL, all that's coming. Seo intermission live to follow. It has been an entertaining hockey game this Easter Sunday in Detroit. With the Caps on the lead by 1, we send you back to the studio. Sebastian Salazar for this Geico Sportsnet Central update. Settling in Detroit this Easter Sunday with the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet. Hockey fans ready to sink their teeth into the third period of play between the Caps and the Red Wings. It's 2-1. Washington earlier on Twitter, hashtag Capitals Talk. Where do you rank Alex Ovechkin among the greatest NHL goal scorers of all time? The answers are flooding in.
Well, I'm sure they are. Let's take a look at some of the answers. 5 Rockets, second best adjusted season of all time. One of the tops already.
Number 1 amongst the active players. Bossy, Espo, Gretzky, good company for sure.
Sure is. Some good answers here. Can't decide his rank until he is done. All in all, he'd be up there with the greats, and he's going to be an HOF.
He is going to be just that and more. At the tender age of 29, you would cross your fingers and hope for incredibly good health for Alex Ovechkin. And how high can he climb on the all-time list with these greats?
This is what I thought, too. Gretzky is the one guy that's going to be hard to beat.
Mario getting some love there. Brett Hull, of course, the longevity that he displayed as much as the goal-scoring prowess. The enthusiasm level for Ovechkin has always been off the charts ever since he burst into the NHL back in 2005. Barry Trotz's team, and it's all about Team Now, trying to qualify for the postseason. It's the NHL on CSN and all across the United States today with the NHL Network. We thank you for tuning in with us. Joe Louis Arena in Detroit. Both of these teams in the heat of a playoff chase. Washington's magic number is 3. Any number of points earned by the Capitals or lost by the Senators, which equals 3, would advance Washington and assure them of a playoff berth. First step, victory in Detroit, getting 2 of those 3. Niskanen towards the goal. That's Peter Mrazek in the cage for the Red Wings. As Jimmy Howard sits second to him. Niskanen steps and fires. He blistered that one wide.
And it looked like he had Mrazek moving, just missed the net. Good setup by the Caps in the first shift.
Niskanen back into the Washington zone. Good to see Braden Holtby between the pipes. He was moving gingerly late in the second period after extending himself on a frontward gymnastics type split. Nyquist waiting. Tracked there by Orpik. Help comes from Niskanen and Brouwer too. 1 minute down in the third period. The Capitals on the lead by 1. The lead strike is Mike Green's 10th of the season. Came back in the second. Yevgeny Kuznetsov on the power play for Washington made it 1-1. Detroit's goal coming from Darren Helm. Zetterberg glides into the offensive attack. Zetterberg tries to push through. Angled and finished by Orpik.
2 pretty good veterans right there. Zetterberg did not get the best there of Brooks Orpik.
Marcus Johansson will stash this one into a corner. Barry Trotz wants the line change as you watch Smith weave out of his own zone. Smith powers his way through center and clears in. Green there for Washington. Mike Green, smooth skater, finds enough room to get it out. Capitals working today without Eric Fair, injured last night, upper body day-to-day. Jay Beagle remains on the injured list. Dmitry Orlov is traveling with the Caps, but he's not yet on the roster. Mike Green moves it along for Glenn Cross. Picked there. Datsuk closes 3-on-2. Tatar fires. That's blocked by Gleason.
Didn't really execute on that. Didn't really have a center drive, which did not open any lanes for the rip-off artist between the 2 Blues.
Brendan Smith, 26-year-old Toronto native. Capitals will turn into Maple Leaf fans tonight when Toronto entertains Ottawa. Off the backboards, it's Wilson scurrying through center for Michael Latta. 3-on-3. Latta cross ring. Burakovsky fires, and that's eaten up by Mrazek. Today's Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Got a lot of multi-goal games, doesn't
Alex and his multiplication table.
I was surprised that last one, none against the Avalanche. The only team he has not had a multi-goal game. 10 versus Atlanta and Winnipeg, 100 total. 8 Tampa, 6 Detroit, and 6 versus the Islanders.
Alex has not scored a goal this season against Detroit. Picked up his first point in 3 games against the Wings today.
That's got to be only a couple of teams that he hasn't scored against, right?
You're right. Vancouver's on that list, too.
Okay.
John Carlson ahead to Andre Burakovsky. Burakovsky brought in from the American League ranks. An emergency recall, if I'm not mistaken, with Fair injured. Wilson to the point for Alzner. Switch it up to Zidlitsky. Wrister, pad save Mrazek. Burakovsky matched by his opposite 65, Danny DeKeyser. This is Latta hiding behind the goal. Latta gets topside. Feeds for Wilson. His bid was blocked. 3.5 minutes into the third. Red Wings have iced the puck here. And you'll hear the whistle. Folks, listen up. You can join the team today. Purchase your 2015-16 full season tickets. Guaranteed access to purchase 2015 Stanley Cup playoff tickets. The opportunity to use the pay as we play payment option. Become a member of Club Red 365 at WashingtonCaps.com. Fingernail biting time. 2-1 Washington. 3.5 into the third. They tie up on the draw. Ward going after it. Quincy starts the breakout for Weiss. And then Teemu Pulkkinen, who will clear in. Mike Babcock wants a line change. Green ventures back to play for the Capitals. Gleason on the headman, right to the net for Mrazek, and he'll reel it in and cover.
Yeah, no red jerseys for him to pass it to. You had Wardo and you had Kuznetsov right in his grill there. No opportunity for him to move the puck.
Earlier today, Philadelphia received 46 saves from Steve Mason. Dazzling goaltending, especially in the first. Montreal's all over Florida on the road. 4 other games before it's all said and done, and that is a huge one at Air Canada Center with regard to Washington and its own playoff chase. Trying to secure a slot among the top 8 in the Eastern Conference are the Caps. And close off Ottawa with regard to themselves. Kuznetsov, neat little moves down the wing. Turns. Poke check there by Helm. Pavel Datsyuk, who set up the Red Wing goal today, works through center, ran into his Russian countryman Alex Ovechkin. On the wing, Helm goes to the 180 move. Datsyuk steps in, backhander, big save, Holtby.
No one knew where that puck was except Datsyuk, and got a good opportunity here in the second.
Datsyuk comes up gingerly himself now.
Yeah, he's been
slowly back to the Red Wing bench.
He's been nursing that ankle like you told us in the first show.
Loose here for Sheahan, spins and fires, kick out save for Holtby. Braden Holtby and the Capitals protecting a 1-goal advantage. 15 minutes to go in the third period. Sheahan will dump it in. All the way around for Zetterberg. Smacked there by Niskanen. Nyquist works. The cheers of "Let's go Red Wings" emerge from Joe Louis. Better than 20,000 strong. Nyquist fumbles. Brouwer's there. Brouwer, who had the tying tally last night, could turn out to be a huge point for the Washington Capitals. When all is said and done in the East. This is game 80 in the regular season. Niskanen opens the throttle. Niskanen fires, just missed it wide. Chimera waits for it off the boards. Brendan Smith kicks it loose. Smith shrugging at Chimera. Zidlitsky continues the breakout for the Wings with a pass just off target for Glendening. Luke will brush it back behind Holtby's crease. Shots on goal are 27-24 for Detroit. Get a whistle here. That's a hand pass called.
Pavel Datsyuk, the best chance for the Red Wings here in this period. Here's the deke going to his backhand. can't elevate it, and then he's going to wipe out sort of after that. There you'll see him put pressure and wipe out on his own will there. And he's been nursing that ankle, and it looked like it gave a little bit there. He is on the bench. We'll see if he's going to be able to go full out.
The Jeep shots on net. Detroit has the advantage by 4. Pavel Datsyuk is 36 years old. Sometimes it feels like he's 306. He has been around so long and been so good. Kronwall gathers for the Wings. Scoops it on through Cleary. And this has enough pace to be icing against Detroit.
Sort of a slow start here to this period. There was our guest, Brooks Light. Played a great second period, especially killing penalties. Close to 3 minutes on the PK.
Locker, we always talk as we get to the last week of a regular season. The games feel like playoff games. What's it like then for Barry Trotz and for Blaine Forsythe here to try and secure a third period lead? How are they asking their guys to play?
I don't think they're going to say much, but they're saying let's stay with the plan. That's one thing that Barry Trotz has done all season long in the coaching staff. They haven't deviated from the plan they laid out as soon as they took over this hockey team.
Gleason just does nudge it into the corner. 21 road wins for Washington, their best since 2011. We started at the top of the telecast discussing how well the Caps have performed away from DC. This is just another installment. A 2-1 advantage in Detroit with 13:30 to go. Eriksson, long strides. Mr. Irrelevant in the draft way back when of 2002. Eriksson drafted number 291 in that draft.
I don't know why, but it's always the case here in Detroit. Their late picks seem to work out for them.
And so often those are European. Tatar on the go. Curl and drag move. Brooks Orpik has been fabulous today. Blocked another shot. Ovechkin works to the outside. Throwing some snow. Long wrister. Didn't get through the pack. And it clicks out of play. 7 minutes and 5 seconds gone by in the third. Alex and friends on top by 1. These game summaries brought to you by Night Point Systems. They offer the technology you need when you need it. Yevgeny Kuznetsov in the first period for Washington.
And from the blue line, it's a beautiful blast of a slap shot from Mike Green. He's got his 10th goal of the season, his 35th assist. He's got 45 points on the year. And Darren Helm, the only goal scorer, and a beautiful pass from Datsyuk in one of their power plays.
Mike Green with goals in back-to-back games as Kuznetsov digs in with Glendening on this draw. Two teams are skating 5-on-5. Eriksson nudged this one free for Glendening, and he'll skip back through center, clearing it into the Washington zone. Drew Miller there, swallowed up by John Carlson. Miller with that grisly-looking scar on his face.
Yeah, I can't believe he came right back after taking that skate that cut him for about 60 stitches. It's amazing that he was able to come back so quickly.
This is an icing call against Detroit. We had McDonald's trivia for you earlier in the day, and it asked which coach in Detroit history had coached the most games for the Red Wings. And
Scotty Bowman.
my guess will be Jack Adams.
There you go. Nailed it.
In the late 20s to late 40s.
You must investigate this stuff.
Not that one.
No?
Didn't have to investigate that one. The wrist shot goes wide from Niskanen. Both coaches today, Messrs. Trotz and Babcock, have been runners-up for the Jack Adams Award, the NHL Coach of the Year. Eriksson will clear it ahead. Brouwer putters this one into the corner. Helm doesn't need a lot of room, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Darren Helm jets into the offensive zone, spins out of the corner, played the whole game by himself. Doug Free to Tatar. It bounced away from him, and Brouwer gladly will clear it for Washington with 11:35 to go in regulation. We remind you that Wednesday's game at Verizon Center, huge against Boston, is on NBCSN.
Yeah, it's an 8 o'clock start. Rask against Holmby, you would expect, unless the Caps get through this weekend and come tomorrow morning, they are in the playoffs.
For example, should they win this game today, And Ottawa lose in any fashion tonight, the Caps would be assured of a playoff berth. Their magic number is 3. Brouwer stacked up with DeKeyser. Nyquist for the Wings will scuttle this into the zone as Holtby tees it up for a turning Carl Alsner. So ultra dependable. Alsner, day after day, he and Carlson are in the lineup as this is all the way down. Icing against Washington. If you're thinking about the Caps in those clinching scenarios, ponder this.
Can clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Senators loss tonight. Also with 1 point tonight and an Ottawa loss in regulation. Timeout being called by Barry Trotz. The Detroit Red Wings have already used that when they had a 5-on-3 at the last couple of seconds of that. Babcock took his, so Barry Trotz says, you know what, this Brouwer line has been out too long in their zone. He's going to call a timeout.
Capitals taking their timeout. Thompson Creek window of opportunity for us to show you Braden Holtby in the nets this afternoon and early evening.
Yeah, some real nice saves. This one off the flanks, going to go laterally. A little redirect in front of the net, tries to stuff it. There he's fell on by his own teammates. Good rotation by Helm, taking it to the net. Big rebound, the follow-up. He stops. Zetterberg down low. That's a nifty little pass. Doesn't get across to the stick of Tartar and Zetterberg. This one long range, right toe. Very nimble, very quick. And this we were a little worried about as he took to the splits there and came up very slowly. The trainer came onto the ice all the way from the bench, checked him out, and Braden says, I'm good to go.
27 saves and counting. He's trying for his 40th win of this season. Trying to be just the second Cap ever to hit that plateau. The other nicknamed Godzilla back in the year 2000. Capitals win the draw. It's Alsner sprinkling it around the curve. It's batted away by Backstrom to neutral ice. We are 9 minutes, whistle filled, into the third period. Washington has a 2-1 advantage, just hanging on. Smith outlasting Brouwer. This is another icing call against DC.
This line can't get off the ice, Joe. They've been out for 3 consecutive icing calls. Backy along with Brouwer and Kuznetsov. They cannot get the puck out cleanly to get off the ice. They desperately want a line change.
Nicholas trying to get another 60-assist season. He's had 3 of those in the past. He leads the NHL in assists when play began today, this Easter Sunday in Detroit. Niskanen on through Brouwer and back to center. Zidlitsky on target for Zetterberg as he veers into the offensive zone. Alsner on through Niskanen. Smith keeps it on the exterior. Capitals pouncing there defensively. Marcus Johansson skips out of the pack and he'll clear it ahead. This is going to be a whistle. Stoppage in play against Washington as Chimera puts up a protest to the linesman Henderson and says, I wasn't offside. These Washington Capitals have been awfully good against members of the Atlantic Division, and Detroit is one of those.
Not lost in regulation the last 15, plus 22 in goals for, goals against. Their PK, 91% plus. 14-4-4 overall against the Atlantic are the Caps.
Washington Locker has scored 3 or more goals in 8 of its last 9 games. I would be very happy to see them get to 3 today. It's a 2-1 advantage right now. Miller and Weiss in there. John Carlson fidgets the puck free. Glenn Cross will roll it into the corner.
Another whistle.
Guess what? It's icing again.
Icing filled third period here for Brooks Laich and the Caps. Not getting to the center line. Hemmed in just a little bit. Babcock keeps rolling new guys. He's trying to stay fresh out there. The shifts for the Red Wings have been very quick here. They're going to call out, though, for some ice repair. Again, this is the second time they've been into this corner to the left of Braden Holtby. They're going to have the maintenance guys come out, maybe fill up a hole right next to the boards. They came out in the first period also.
Carrying octopus?
No, it's not on the ice yet.
They don't do that anymore?
No, they do.
I thought they might patch it up with the octopus. Locker, your voice on value from earlier today was presented by Morgan Franklin Consulting.
And it was about mental toughness. We had Latta on after that first period, and he said, yeah, Trotz says it's mental to get your physical part of your body going. And the legs have been pretty darn good for Barry Trotz and his team today. So mental toughness has worked out well.
Coach appears to be in a good frame of mind there as he's chit-chatting with the referee, Wes McCauley. Braden hope he can catch his breath.
Yeah, he says, this is perfect. I don't have another timeout left anyways.
As the Capitals gather around to discuss defensive zone face-off strategy, Jason Chimera and the Capitals clinging to a 2-1 advantage. Still more than half of this third period to play. Brooks Laig's going to be entrusted with the face-off duties opposite of Pavel Datsyuk. Linesmen get him set. Red Wings win the draw, but it's Glenn Cross able to punch it back to neutral. Danny DeKeyser on for Datsyuk, and then Quincy for Tatar to clear in. Orpik skies this one back into the Red Wing zone. DeKeyser feels the heat of the forecheck from Chimera. Quincy able to play it on for Darren Helm. He'll drop it into the corner. Gleason for Washington as the chess match continues. Ovechkin has an assist today. Alex started the afternoon as the number 3-point scorer in the NHL. Long drive, a scorcher from Kronwall that was high. Capitals counter-punching. Kronwall sniffed that out, and he fanned on his pass. As Kuznetsov goes off the boards indirect, and he's flattened. Ovechkin was checking his skates at center too.
Yeah, he was spun around by Kronwall's stick.
No call there against Washington.
Should have been, though.
There are a lot of refs in the stands who had a call, though.
Oh, yeah.
Nyquist on the go. Gus Nyquist to the slot. Ovechkin in good shape defensively. Rumbles back through center. Clears it on through Brouwer all the way to Mrazek. We continue 5-on-5. Zetterberg with a puck for Detroit. Red Wings out shooting the Caps 28-24. 8:40 to go now. Smith leans into this rush. Capitals with that stingy neutral zone philosophy. They don't give you much between the blue lines when it's under control.
Yeah, you sure don't. And this is a Red Wing team. You know, you look at the Devils, and we all know they're a defense-first team and philosophy within the franchise. Same holds true for Detroit. Their philosophy is hold on to the puck, and that's why all their analytics, Corsi and Fenwick, are always up there with the best.
Chance for us to make our break from Joe Louis Arena as Erickson was heading up ice. Whoopsie! Gonna lose a step right there, big fella, on CSN. Our sport fans of the game are brought to you by Sport Automotive, Chevrolet and Honda. Be a sport fan too. Visit sportautomotive.com. Caps fans always traveling well. We are here in Detroit today inside of Joe Louis Arena where Washington has a 2-1 advantage with 8:19 left and a lot of nervous looks on the faces of Caps fans all throughout this big building in downtown Detroit. Alsner plays it ahead. Niskanen able to float it back through center. There's Marcus Johansson, who was splendid an evening ago. Johansson, Brouwer, and Backstrom as a trio again. This wrister from Brouwer almost handcuffed Mrazek, but he fights it off for the whistle.
Brouwer's got his wrister going recently. Real nice goals for Troy. Here's that last shot. Used the defenseman a little bit as a screen. 21 goals now on the season for Troy, using that wrist shot to his advantage. Again, just getting the pucks on net. A toughie for Mrazek.
Prior to today, Locker, the Capitals had split 2 games with Detroit in D.C. Brouwer had goals in both of those games against the Wings. Mrazek, who came off the bench for an injured Jimmy Howard in early January, has been the starter all the way today. A headhunter from Ovechkin over top of the net. Niskanen will work back through center. 7:55 to operate in this third period. Washington has Boston on Wednesday. The Red Wings will play host to Carolina on Tuesday. They finish their schedule at Montreal and at Carolina, do the Wings. This will bounce all the way to Holtby as he'll tee it for Alsner. On through Ovechkin. Kronwall's going to get there ahead of Joel Ward. Tatar shakes it loose for Helm. Dangerous trio out there now for Detroit. Datsyuk, Helm, and Tatar. It is Helm who wheels back through center. Helm's wrister goes wide of the cage. Tatar waiting for it along the dasher. Plays it to the point for Zidlitsky. Backhand shovel shot knocked down in front. Good defense there for the Caps, and Kuznetsov will get it out. On the go, Burakovsky with the fresh legs. He's played sparingly today. Andre Burakovsky finds a trailer ladder. One more. Carlson punched aside by Mrazek.
This line has been very good when they get the opportunity. Trying to get some energy here in the third period. Barry Trotz says, boys, get out there and get something going, and they have.
Smith sends it on around. Tatar's dragging. He needs a line change. Back through center comes Green with the help of Orpik. Brooks Orpik will clear it in.
Burakovsky through the first 40 minutes, less than 4. We haven't seen him a whole lot, as you just mentioned, Joe B. But now with the legs burning on a lot of guys that have had a lot of ice time, giving this line a chance here in the third.
DeKeyser rumbling in. Didn't get a lot of mustard on that wrist shot. Green takes it off the wall, but doesn't get it out. DeKeyser fires. Oh, my goodness. That was blocked by Wilson. It hit him around the head area. He stays down. Tom Wilson stunned by that slap shot of Danny DeKeyser.
It's silent up in the booth. It's silent here at the Joe. After that slap shot hit the side of the face, it looked like, of Wilson.
Head athletic trainer Greg Smith tending to the fallen Wilson. As you can tell, he is moving. And now rolling to his seat.
That's a great sign right there for Willie. Being helped out there by Greeny and Smitty after he threw his body in front of this slap shot. Here it comes. And there comes the slap shot. And there it is off the side of the head of Wilson, sacrificing here late in the game. Way to go, Big Willie.
Making his woozy way back to the bench. Timing is everything when it comes to shot blocking. And when you're trying to block a shot from that distance, the window gets very narrow where it gets to be very dangerous. Wilson in groggy fashion down that dressing room tunnel. And this is a point of the year where you see everybody extend their willingness to block shots.
Sure do.
We always say the game changes to a degree. Block shot total favoring the Caps, but the game changes to a degree. As the Stanley Cup playoffs unfold, there is so much attention to detail and emphasis on defense. And that includes block shots. Johansson for Orpik. Got his signals crossed there with John Carlson. We drift below 6 minutes to go as the Capitals try to hold on to 2 points in Detroit. Zetterberg feeds, Sheahan fires, and hope he got a chunk of that. Quincy along the boards to the front, knocked aside by Backstrom, who digs in. Help comes from Johansson, and then Brouwer will clear. Any combination of 3 points for Washington earned or lost by Ottawa. Any combination that adds up to 3 clinches a playoff berth. Hence the magic number of 3 for the Caps. Helm on the go, fires, it's high. As he worked in, accelerating through neutral. Eriksson towards the cage, wide of the net.
He has been the best player on the ice for the Red Wings today.
Darren Helm. Ovechkin chips it past Eriksson. It's a 2-on-1 with Ward. Ovechkin closing to Ward. It's just away from him.
Might have even clicked off of Eriksson's stick there for his partner before it got to Ward.
Kuznetsov trying to get to the interior. Datsuk wouldn't allow it. Helm comes back. Counter punching for the Red Wings. Works to the outside. It's Helm. To the deep slot. Tatar between his skates. He jammed it wide.
And it might have been Kronwall that got a piece of that puck. As you mentioned, Joe B. Eriksson stepping up. The best opportunity for the Capitals captain here today.
4.5 left in this third period. NHL on CSN and across the United States on the NHL Network. Gleason goes for the big hit. Came up empty. Holtby makes the blocker pad save. Smith works in deep from his offensive point position. Slots it there to Weiss. The wrister hit traffic, and Lyke will sprint out of there with it for Washington. Moves the puck on for Chimera. Jason Chimera towards the goal. Jammed aside by Mrazek. 2-1 Washington. The lead goal provided by Mike Green. Early stages of the second period from Gleason and Ovechkin. Since then, Only Helm has struck for Detroit. It gets noisy inside of Joe Louis Arena. We leak below 4 minutes to go. Orpik will clear it to the stripe. Nyquist waiting for Zetterberg to get back onside. Zetterberg not able to reel that in. DeKeyser does as the Karam will click back to center. Danny DeKeyser from wing to wing. Sheahan was foiled by the bouncing biscuit. Sheahan softly to Holtby's doorstep, and he'll melt it right there. We'll get you back for the final 3:22 of regulation time. The NHL on Comcast Sportsnet, a 2-on-1 chance for a potential clincher. Just out of reach. The excitement of the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet this Easter Sunday unfolding in Detroit. Caps clinging to the advantage. Washington's player of the game, sponsored by the Palm Restaurant, is Mike Green.
Yeah, goal and assist +1. 90th career 2-point game. The Capitals defense, as we mentioned at the top, really helping out offensively.
Enter to be the Palm Fan of the Month at thepalm.com/fan. Face-off win for the Wings. The Kronwall wrister got away from Holtby. Tatar takes it off the boards. Zidlitsky through the traffic wide of the goal. Remember, these are lively boards in Detroit. You can get some terrific caroms offensively. Kronwall waits. High slot Datsuk. Shimmy and shake to Kronwall. Stoned there by Holtby.
And that's a set play that I'm sure they talked about on the bench. A beautiful passing sequence by Datsuk and Kronwall that didn't work because of the save of Braden Holtby.
Datsuk wanders through the neutral territory. He was tracked down by 3 defenders. Ovechkin clears it all the way to Mrazek. 2:40 left in regulation. We'll keep an eye on the Red Wing goalie, see when Mike Babcock will lift him for the extra attacker. Washington has a 2-1 advantage. Zetterberg through center. Gets the attacking line for Sheahan. Good defense, though, by Alzner. He didn't get it out, however. DeKeyser keeps it on the perimeter. Nyquist flings it at the goal, blocked by Yevgeny Kuznetsov, who started the scoring today for Washington. Zigs and zags through center. Kuznetsov dribbles that one wide of the Red Wing goal.
Man, who earlier on in the season would not be out here in this situation. Growing confidence with the coaches and his own play out at critical times during this game today.
As Holtby hangs on a few moments ago, he made a terrific stop.
And there's the set play of Datsuk and Kronwall right into the chest, though. Not much net available for Kronwall sneaking in. It was a quick give-and-go spinorama. Executed perfectly until the shot came, and Holtby takes it right to the chest.
Kronwall's first ever NHL point came against the Washington Capitals. Anxious moments on the Caps bench. Face-off to come here in the offensive zone. Datsuk set to draw against Brooks Laich. The net is empty for Detroit. 6 attackers on. Laich shadow boxing there with Datsuk, and the Caps come away with a face-off possession. Chimera did not clear, though. They flood this side. Laich does manage to get it to center. Zidlitsky and Kronwall in back. Weiss, Helm, Tatar, Datsuk, 6 attackers on in red. It's Tatar slithering down the boards. Plays it back on top for Kronwall. Switch it up to Zidlitsky, shaded by Glenn Cross. Kronwall for Tatar. Tatar to Kronwall towards the goal, blocked away. 1:30 left in regulation time. Kronwall winds, slap pass, looking for the redirect. Tatar sent it wide. They force feed the front. Datsuk guides it for Kronwall. This way, Tatar towards the cage, stop there. The ricochet wide of the net as Glenn Cross looks to clear. He didn't get it past Datsuk. Wonderful stick handling moves. Datsuk knifing to the net. He sent it high again.
And what a battle with Orpik in front of the net. What a man-on-man. It was a huge scrum with Orpik tangled up down low.
1 minute to go in regulation right now. 6 attackers on for Detroit. Washington clinging to the 1-goal advantage. Orpik rolls it ahead. Glenn Cross has a little bit of room, and he'll sky it back into the Detroit territory. No icing.
Nice touch by Glenn Cross.
Tatar finding Zetterberg. Zetterberg roaming wide, flings it there. Holtby punches it off of the rink. It's out of play for the whistle with 41 to go.
Great opportunity there. The Capitals get pretty much everything out to the outside. Look at Weiss and Orpik going at it. Two veteran guys. They get all tangled up. A headlock. The helmet comes off. Talk about compete. That is competing at the highest level. Datsyuk just can't fidget that puck top shelf against Braden.
Capitals postgame live presented by your DC area Acura dealers will follow. Al Koken and Alan May are warming up for that. 41 seconds to go in regulation. The Capitals trying to hang on. It's a 2-1 lead in Detroit. DeKeyser shakes it. Pulkkinen. DeKeyser, then Nyquist. Hesitates and fires, had it blocked by Alzner. 28 seconds to go. Nyquist on top. DeKeyser bluffs the slapper. Nyquist will take his. Stopped there by Alzner. Rebound loose. Red Wings still with it. 6 on 5. 15 seconds to go. Pulkkinen broke his stick. Rebound. Sheahan. Sprawling Holtby. Magnificent there with Alzner. To the slot. Nyquist to the top. Blocked there, sliding defensive play by Johansson. Rebound, centering pass came through. Zetterberg to the goal mouth, no. Washington gets 2 points in Detroit. A 2-1 victory. And Braden Holtby somehow does more gymnastics.
Gets his 100th win, 40th of the season for Braden. It is a group hug because I said you've got to play as a team on the road. Sacrifice is critical, and you've got to play as a team. They got it done with 35 saves from Braden Holtby. Here's this mad scramble, 6 on 5. DeKeyser over to Pulkkinen, the hard slap shot off the leg. This one, another opportunity, might have hit the side of the net, and Carl Alzner sacrificing the side of his rump to make the diving save here late in the third.
The Capitals' magic number is 1. Start rooting for the Maple Leafs. If they beat the Senators tonight, the Caps are in the playoffs. For Craig, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks for your time. Caps' next game comes at Verizon Center. It's Wednesday night, 8 p.m. on NBCSN. Up next, Capitals postgame live. Al Koken and Alan May. All hail Braden Holtby, a 2-1 victor in Detroit.